Before I get started on this project, I suppose I should describe my room. So this is the inside of my room. My bed's over there, always unmade. There's a bookcase that sticks out here as my drawing board from where I talk to you guys a lot. You can see where the camera is set up above it there. All of the lights that I need for lighting up the surface when I'm illustrating something for you. The wall that I'm going to be talking about in my demonstration, back up here against the doors, is this wall right here where those masks are hanging up. That's the reason for doing the elevation that I'm going to be doing for you, because I need to change that wall. And over here you can see my computer station in the corner, which is where I'm talking from you guys from every day. There's my green screen behind me that lets me block out my unmade bed. And the door that leads out into the other room, this is the den or the blacklight room, and I will probably be doing a little thing on that sometime here in the future. It's kind of a mess out there right now, as if this area in here isn't a mess. But anyway, this is the wall that I'm going to be talking to you guys about right here. I'm going to have to be changing this one, getting rid of the box fan and some other things, and applying some shelves to that wall. So we'll be looking at that here shortly. So I've got myself all set up here now. Basically what I'm trying to show you is that it's possible to do this on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, because I can't imagine you guys having to work on any surface that's going to be longer than the length of my room, which is 18.5 feet. So what I'm going to show you first of all is how easy it is to do an elevation by simple transfer. So I'm locating the center of my piece of paper right now, drawing a couple of very light graphite lines across the page, which I will later erase, and then locating the center. So then what I want to do then is bring down my piece of paper that has the plan view of my space on it. And as you remember the other day, I had not done a very careful job of lining this up on my paper. This time I have trimmed out the edges so it's a little bit smaller than 8.5 by 11, so as to be able to demonstrate to you the correct way of aligning your center of your plan view to the center of your elevation drawing. So all I'm going to do is just take this drawing and move it above. I don't know if you can still see it, that part of it up there, just basically, or barely I should say. And now all I'm going to do is just take the lines from the plan view and translate them down onto the elevation. So there now is the two lines that represent both sides of the 18.5 foot wall. This line would then be the floor. And then all I would need to do is determine how high the ceiling is, which in 1/4 inch is 8 feet, which would be right there. So now that I know those things, this then represents an 18'6" wall, 8 feet high. So I'm going to move this down just a little bit so that you can see the other part of the drawing that's necessary to make this work. And that is to know where that door is located. We don't really need to contend ourselves with the swing of this door, because it's really not an issue with what I'm doing, and we're not really dealing with this area over in here, but we do need to know where that door is. So I'm going to take and tape my drawing down up here so that it is exactly in the right position, and I'm going to transfer the lines down from the door, which would be here and here. Now, you might not have seen it in the video version of this just earlier, but my wall is not a full height wall. It's a low wall. It's essentially at the 7 foot mark. The door itself is a 6'6", so that leaves me about 6 inches above the door. What you couldn't see maybe in the video is the fact that there's a clear space located right there above my wall. And I did that on purpose because what I wanted to do was to allow ventilation from the front of the room, the big front doors, through the rest of the space into the den. But my girlfriend seemed to object to the fact, mostly because of the fact I like to sleep with my windows open at night, and it gets rather chilly up here. So she made me put foam battens in up there. So it's kind of sealed off at the moment. I can open it though, they're just stuck up in place. So then, this then is the wall drawn 1/4 inch to the foot scale. So this then is my door opening right here. So that's an opening, a hole in the wall, and this up here is above where the wall ends. So this is open space up here. So this is the only drywalled portion of the wall itself. So the area that I'm going to be working on is essentially this area right in here, which is where I need to locate those shelves where the masks are located right now. But in order to do that, I'm going to work at a slightly larger scale. And I'm going to show you, when we get started up here again in a second, how to go about doing that. Back in a sec. Okay, so I have taped down yet another piece of paper to my drawing board. I have the original floor plan here in 1/4 inch to a foot scale. I also have my rough diagram here that I had drawn up that has all the dimensions on it if I need to reference that. Plus I also have the 1/4 inch to the foot scale diagram, which is located right there. Okay, so again, I'm going to locate the center of my piece of paper. And the reason why I'm doing this is because sometimes it's easier to work at a slightly larger scale than in the 1/4 inch scale, which is really kind of small for this purpose. So I'm going to locate the center. I'm going to put my base of my wall line down here, because I'm probably going to work 1/2 inch to the foot scale, and that's double the size. Now, literally what I could do is I could go someplace and take this plan view here, or this elevation rather, and have them blow it up, 200%, which would get me up to the size that I need. But you can just as easily go ahead and do something like this. So I'm going to go ahead and create an 8-foot high wall, which is right there in 1/2 inch scale, and you can see it's twice the height of this one. Now I know that my center line is right there of the wall in elevation, and as I was showing you the other day, I could come over here and I can find 9 foot 3 inches. 9 foot 3 inches is half of 18.5 or 18 foot 6. Then I can move my ruler back to the 6 inch mark and then come over here and find where 18 is, and that's my other wall right there. So I'm equal distant in the drawing, and as you can see, an 18 foot 6 inch wall works just fine in this scale. It's right at the edges of the piece of paper, of an equal distance on either side. So then this would be my floor line right here. This would be the line that represents the ceiling in the space, which runs full height throughout this area above the garage. And these are the outside walls throughout that space. That's also the den and my room. Now the first thing that I know is that the wall itself is short, or shorter, by a full foot than the walls of the space itself and the ceiling. So then that would represent the very top of the wall, right there. Okay, now comes time to locate the door. Now, I could extrapolate from this drawing here, the 1/4 inch, or I could just go back to referencing my drawing, rough drawing again. And if that's the case, then I know that this wall over here, that's where my computer stand is, or computer station is, it's just 6 feet, and it's a 28 inch door. So then all I need to do is use my 1/2 inch to a foot scale and locate where 6 feet is, which is right there, and then come in here and mark where 28 inches would be, and that is 2 foot 4. So this is where my door is located, right here, like so. And I know that the door is a 6 foot 6, That leaves 6 inches above the top of the door. So it's kind of a short door in width and in height. I wanted a shorter door going into my room because I don't have to get anything in and out of here very much. And I wanted more wall space. So, there you have 2 drawings side by side, as you can see, or top and bottom. One being the 1/4 inch to a foot scale drawing here, and this is the 1/2 inch to the foot scale version of the same drawing. And these are elevations, and they're elevations of this wall right here. So that should tell you pretty much all you need to know about an elevation so far. The next task for you guys would be, like, say for instance, I don't have a door here, and I don't have a short wall, it runs full length. You'd have an 18-foot 6 by 8 foot high wall, and then you're going to say, okay, I'm going to put a graphic on that. Or maybe it's a garage door, or it's a wall of your room, or a large wall of the exterior part of your house. That's what I'm asking you to do in part 2 or 5.2 of this assignment. Anyway, I hope this explains to you how to create elevation drawings to work from for doing large-scale graphics. All for now. I will see you guys in the next video.